this, and then just get a little refill.
All right. Cheers.
Cheers, dude.
When you start us off, I'll give it a pour.
Alrighty. Outside of choosing a life of crime, perhaps the biggest mistake in life you can ever make is to kidnap a fucking vampire.
Oh, no shit.
Welcome to Drunk Mnemonic, everyone. And I'm Peter.
That's awkward as shit. Cute. Your turn.
Guys, thanks again for joining us tonight. We really appreciate all of you who have listened and supported us, even at this like super early stage when we know we're still learning how all this works. As I'm sure you can tell, we are going through some changes. We hopefully will benefit the show. We'll be doing this show in person now, about 2 feet from each other's faces, and hopefully we can get rid of lag, talking over each other. But being that we tend to get drunk and talky, it's very much still possible.
Getting nervous? Is that why you're talking like that?
No,
So the big difference is I moved back to Steamboat Springs, so we're next to each other.
yeah,
Instead of being far away.
there isn't like a green screen. This is really us together. I can
In the flesh.
touch his nose.
All right, so with that being ado, Peter, please tell them about this new episode that we're going to try to do right now.
All right, so tonight's episode is going to be a new episode format where once a month we are going to do an immediate review of a movie, a show, or like some true crime story that's happening like as we're speaking. It's going to be a little less researched than our other episodes, and it's going to allow us to not just put out more content, but to be able to react to you guys. If you guys have things that you need to tell us, if there's things that we need to know, stories that we need to cover, we're going to be able to do this much more quickly than the other episodes because we're not going to have to spend weeks trying to research things and get them out to you.
Basically, we're just going to get drunk and we're going to watch horror movies and then we're going to talk about them.
Yep. Tonight's episode, we will be giving immediate reviews of Abigail. It was released on April 18th, which was when we were going to originally record this.
So we did watch the movie on April 18th, but then we couldn't figure out how to work everything, so we had to spend 2 weeks to get everything going. So we're going to pretend like we just saw it yesterday.
Yep.
We're going to know everything. So
Pretty much me and Jamie went on like a nice man date, and we're absolutely terrified by a 13-year-old child.
it's Jamie and I just saying that. Proper.
Oh, Jesus.
You're the one that writes.
You're already going there, dude.
You're the one that writes, dude.
You're already going there.
Oh, sorry.
All right.
Awkward pause.
Yeah. Do you want to do the summary?
No, I think you're doing a really great job.
Okay.
I just like to be the one that drinks and then talks about things.
All right.
You're the one that likes to talk, dude.
Here's the IMDb summary. We'll just like do this a lot.
This is a warning. Also, if you haven't seen this movie, please don't watch this.
Yeah, this one, like pretty much we have the next like 2 or 3 minutes that's going to be spoiler free. After that, you can expect spoilers. And if you haven't seen the movie already and don't want it to be totally ruined, I would suggest waiting until after you've seen the movie.
Can I also cut in real quick?
Yeah.
Oh, we almost forgot to talk about our unofficial sponsors.
We didn't even mention them.
Yeah, so I am always sponsored by some sort of Mexican lager. Tonight it is Tecate, just like last one, I think. What are you sponsored by?
Topo Chico and lime.
I also probably might be sponsored by that because I didn't bring a lot of beer. So
This one is the Oasis Cherry. Not so good. I'm just going to put it out there. Thanks, Topo. I think that it's better than your non-hard seltzers, but I think it's less good than your margarita seltzers.
the big salsa connoisseur over here.
Yep. I'm a salty boy, dude. Leave me alone.
Boy, what's got over here? It looks like some sort of glass of thing.
We are sponsored by, unofficially, please don't associate. Well, you can associate us with this or with these guys, but they don't want to be associated with us. Yep. Elijah Craig, small batch. Actually, pretty good deal. Downtown, only $30. Fucking 94 proof, dude. Yep. That doesn't mean I'm not drunk. I'm just really good at talking when I'm drunk. Well, cheers, motherfucker. To our unofficial sponsors. We don't have any water sponsors tonight. All right. The IMDb summary. Jesus. I'm really fighting it here.
Was our savior. Are you nervous?
No, dude, I just watched.
You want me to take my shirt off? Will that make it feel better?
It's a little hot. I'm actually going to take my shirt off. That's a good call.
The camera adds 10 pounds. I feel like I'm fatter than this.
No, it's just further away. So.
No one left, dude.
Oh, geez, I got another booze sponsor. I'm like literally only sponsored by booze companies, I guess. I got Happy Dad and the Mythology.
I got a New Belgium.
Yep, other side.
I'm wearing an Av shirt, too.
Oh, that's an Avalanche shirt and an Avalanche hat, dude.
Big time abs.
That's what I'm talking about. That's my guy.
Cut the shit. We're not supposed to do this for this episode.
Yeah, we've been told we can't do this.
No, we can do it. Fuck we want.
The IMDb summary goes as stated. After a group of criminals kidnap the ballerina daughter of a powerful underworld figure, they retreat to an isolated mansion, unaware that they're locked inside with no normal little girl. All right, dude, let's first just go through the movie. A couple names associated with the movie. We have the directors, Matt Bettinelli, as well as Tyler Gillett. They are the directors of Scream 5 and 6. My first introduction to them, I didn't even realize it was these guys, but like VHS, did you ever see that?
Mm-hmm.
Came out like 10 plus years ago.
It was also a like first person viewer, just kind of like Blair Witch kind of style. Like after that.
Yep. And it was also, I'm pretty sure, about vampires, which is cool. And then they had this movie, Ready or Not. I have not seen that, but I have seen Scream 5 and 6. Pretty solid movies. Also associated with Scream 5 and 6, we have Melissa Barrera, who is Joey, who's the... I don't know if I should call her the main chick.
Second main chick.
Yeah, right?
Side chick.
Yeah. Side chick. Man, she gives main character vibes, but she's side chick in this movie, dude.
Unfortunately, dude. Annabelle just gives everything.
Yep. It's not Annabelle, it's Abigail, but it's close. But Melissa Barrera was like the main character in both 5 and 6, the Scream, which are the later evolution of that. We also have, who we were just talking about, Alicia Weir, who is a 14-year-old who has like straight up, in my opinion, one of the better like screen performances for a debut that I've ever seen. Chick fucking kills it.
Smashed it.
Yep. Dan Stevens is Frank, who's pretty much just like a shitty person in the movie.
He's a good actor.
Yep, great actor. He's in the movie The Guest, which is a pretty solid horror movie. He's just this guy that shows up to a dinner party and isn't invited. Oh yeah, he's awful in that. There's a couple other people, not that they don't deserve mentioning, but we are going to mention Giancarlo Esposito because we're going to put up a picture of him. Everyone knows who Giancarlo Esposito is. He's in he's in Everything Good. Giancarlo Esposito. Okay.
He wrote that song.
Yep, he sure did. I think that's like the basic main cast, the info that we need. Initial impressions, dude. What'd you think? Did you like it?
Before you go there,
Whoa.
I did look up the writers,
Okay.
and
What do we have for that?
I don't remember their names, but I do know that the way I looked at it, the main writer, this was his first thing, or one of the two things that he's ever wrote.
Really?
And then the second writer was tied to all the Scream movies and almost every other single thing that the directors have done.
Okay.
So it makes me scream like
Yeah.
someone came in and kind of like polished it up a little.
I see. Okay. What are the directing team? What's their name? It's like Quiet Silence or something like that.
Oh, I don't remember. that ad that I thought that was pretty cool. That it was like they brought the same writer that they did with the Scream movies.
Sorry, I don't mean to tune out here.
I forgive you. I know that you're doing something on the computer to look things up because I brought in a curveball.
Radio Silence is the name of this director's team, and you're right, they do have one of the writers is tied with them through a couple projects. So my guess would that be that one of the guys wrote the screenplay, and then these directors brought in their own like secondary writer. Yep.
That was exactly what I was trying
Oh, that's awesome. I did not know that. That's sweet.
I guess I could pull up the names real quick on the handy dandy internet machine on my phone. That's probably actually it's trying to get me.
So Steven Shields and then Guy Bizik, Busick.
So who was the? I assume it was the guy. Guy Bizik is the guy.
Is yeah.
Their guy.
Yep. That's their guy, dude. That's what I'm talking about.
All right.
Word. Sorry, I didn't mean to skip over the writers. I think they're like,
It's okay. I forgive you. It's fun to say every time you say
you have to do it. You have to do it. Please, just give me as much shit as you possibly can. I know you're really good at it, so it's like totally fine.
Let's do it. Drink for me.
All right.
Toast for me, Pete.
While you're pouring, like I asked earlier, initial impressions. What'd you think? Like,
You want my
I don't need a rating. I just need like
Jamie and Rue?
easy, quick yes or no. Did you like it or did you not?
I thought it was fucking awesome.
Okay.
Hands down, like I told you that after we watched it.
Yep.
Like, it was like an in-your-face good monster movie.
Yeah, I
It was
think
like it's like they wrote the way that it's labeled on like Rotten Tomatoes or IMDb is a horror comedy. I think it's that. I don't think they didn't. They cut straight to the chase. They're like, hey, we're gonna throw this movie. It's gonna be straight action, and it's gonna be a great time.
Yep.
They're not trying to do too much, and they're not doing too little, in my opinion.
I think again, like we do this a lot when we talk about like whether we like things or not, but like I agree, dude. I'm right there with you. I think that like this movie feels like, and I don't know if this is like a dig on the directors or not, but like it feels like a horror movie that was made by horror movie fans.
Yeah.
Like I think that there's certain things that are lacking, but for people that just like love horror, and like I love horror because I think that it's like good and I think that it's funny.
Well, I just want.
It's absurd.
Murder, and I want over the top.
The absurdity is what like I love in it.
No, it reminded me of when we went and saw Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Because it's like we knew what we were gonna watch. We're like, I'm gonna go watch people get fucking killed by someone that is dressed up like a Thanksgiving or for Thanksgiving, and that's what we got. This is how I feel about this. We knew that there was a girl vampire and she was gonna murder everyone, and I fucking loved it.
That's where we differ just slightly because you went in knowing what this movie was, and I went in completely blind. I don't know if you remember that. I like had heard that there was this maybe like it was a vampire movie, but I was like, okay, like I don't. But like I went in before we even watched it. I started to watch a review on it, and it said, if you have not seen the movie, turn off this review and don't watch a single trailer. And I just like took this guy's advice. I don't know. So I went in completely blind into this movie. So I actually did get like a little bit of a shock when it turned out that like this chick that was like very meek and like very much a victim turned into be this like crazy monster of a person. I guess we'll get into that later. But like, so you have like your thought. I'm like, yep, it's exactly what I expected it to be. This kind of thing where like I at least got to have like a little bit of like a twist in it.
Well, I was the one that kept telling you, dude, have you seen this?
Yeah.
Have you seen the previews for this? Hey, let's go watch it.
Yeah.
Let's go watch it.
Well, you just said it was a horror movie, so like I'm already in. It doesn't even matter. But I think that it definitely helped me, and I think that going back afterwards, I watched the trailers and I was like, man, I am super happy that I didn't get to see the trailers because it really would have kind of changed the turn in the movie for me. Because if I didn't like I didn't know this little tiny girl was gonna be a vampire. I like kind of had guesses or like things.
Like a sneaking suspicion from the
I did, but it wasn't like I didn't see the trailers, and the trailers were really like watching the trailers after I had seen the movie. It was I think that the trailers did a disservice to the movie because it could have been this awesome twist that they had where it's like marketed as like this like heist movie, but don't have it be the heist movie at all, which would have been sick.
teeth, like at the end kind of thing.
No, or just not even at all.
No, but then people won't go.
But that's like,
No, people will be
yeah.
like, what the fuck?
I feel like a lot was given away by the fact that the trailer like distinctly marketed that like, yep, this chick is not who you think she is. She's a vampire. But I didn't know that going in. So like I was super impressed by it.
I feel like you're gonna get more people into the box office for horror than you are for like just a heist movie.
Suspense, yeah.
So I think like by showing Abigail's literal teeth in the preview,
Mm-hmm.
or the can't I lost my train of thought. But in the preview, then it brought a lot more people there. Like
Yep.
if it was another like Taken movie, then I don't think it was.
Right, but wouldn't that be so sick if you marketed it as like a Taken movie and then all of a sudden it's like not that at all? I think that that would be really cool. But that's just my personal opinion.
No, it makes sense.
Yep.
But I think about the fact that like now that during COVID, there's not as crazy as much people going to the box office
Yeah.
or going to see movies in theaters. So you have to capitalize on everything you can right away.
Yep.
So
I agree.
that was it.
Sweet. I think that we both liked it. I think that's
Turns out we both like this movie.
yep. Real quick, we'll just kind of go through like act by act. I'd call it 3 acts for our structure. I think that that's just like a good way to like kind of break down the movie, go plot line, and then after that we'll get into like themes and stuff like that. So the first main act has the initial kidnapping. The crew, when the movie opens, it's Abigail. She's dancing on this stage. It then goes into the 3. We have the characters that we don't know their actual names. We have Joey, Frank, and Pete or Peter are sneaking into this mansion, and all of a sudden this girl walks through the door, and Joey is like, "What the fuck? Like, why are we kidnapping a girl?" She's not okay with
I
it.
thought they were in the van talking at first.
So
It was the dude. Oh yeah, that's the other two.
yeah, I'm just going like main plot points.
Yeah, for sure.
And Joey's not okay with kidnapping a kid. And Frank is like, if you don't fucking want to be here, fucking go. And she's like, I'm already in it. And the girl walks in like right as that's happening. So like she just ducks behind something. Then they kidnap her. They get out of the house just barely. They show up at this fucking huge mansion. And they're introduced to Lambert, who is Giancarlo Esposito. He pretty much labels them all the Rat Pack. What?
John
Esposito. After that, there's like pretty much decided that Joey is going to be the only one that can interact with Abigail because they're not supposed to know.
That's why?
What?
Just because she had a daughter?
I don't know.
Or they're just like, this is going to be the side chick main character? So
I think that there's a lot like, so I went through some interviews and like they did a lot of work trying to, their goal was to create these characters who are super relatable, who you want to care for. I don't know how well they did that, but I think they made Joey very much, very much the character who is like the matriarch of the group. And obviously she's going to be the one that like takes care of the hostage. So it makes sense. She has her interaction with Abigail. She takes her blindfold off.
Before that, she decides to go around to every single other bad guy.
Ugh.
And I know exactly who you are.
Did you like that part?
It was very cringy.
I thought so too.
You're military. He's like, you're right. You're ex-cop. He's like, maybe. It's like, you're a hacker. He's like, you're a stoner. He's like, damn right. So yeah, That was the very predictable part of it.
So I think that like while it was worthwhile and it was like an interesting like, oh, I want to know who's like the smart person in this crew. I thought it was a little bit of a cop out to like not show at all who these characters are, but to have one person just define them and like, oh, yep, you got it right because you wanted to win $100 kind of thing. So like instead of having like a backstory for each character to get them to where they are at this point, we just have Joey, who is obviously just this like clairvoyant person that can just tell anyone who they are, and like she's overly perceptive and is too good at
How
this.
much character development do you want into a 2-hour movie?
Well,
All these people that are gonna die.
yeah, fair. That's very true. But
You want Joey, you want Dickhead,
yeah,
and you want Abigail, right?
yep,
Everyone else is like, oh yeah, blah blah blah.
I agree
So
with
you
that.
got a little bit of backstory from a kind of lame
We-
situation, but that's
Get a snippet of who each character is, and then they do it all over again
flashbacks.
later. But I just thought it was maybe just a little cheap. But I mean, like, so I read this really good article with IGN, interviewing the directors, and I watched a couple other interviews as well. And their main goal was like trying to make these characters feel real and relatable, and like they weren't just stereotypes of characters. Do you think they did that?
No. I think they made Joey and Abigail relatable, and maybe like a little bit of the soldier. I don't remember his name.
Rickles, which is like what even got me on this whole thing thinking about it. I was like, up until today, like I straight up forgot that dude's name. I forgot he was in the fucking movie at all, because like he just isn't even that much a part of like what's even happening, because like, and I think it's done by like, it's honestly, now that I'm thinking about it, like maybe even a little bit tricky on the director's part, because we're almost supposed to forget him, because everyone else has a story when they do that. When Joey's like saying, you are this and you are this and you are this, she's like, Semper Fi. That's all I have to say about that. It's like, that's all you need to know about him. He has nothing to add. Now, granted, he is a good character. He is the only one that expresses trust amongst the entire crew. Him and Joey kind of develop like a relationship. He dies within seconds of that happening, but like we at least like get to a point where like there's a bit of trust between those two, and immediately that guy dies. But like it is what it is. Yeah. I just was wondering if the directors and the cast, all of their interviews, just like there's two things that they point to. And I think that one, they did very well, which was the movie was really fun. Yeah. And I can see that the movie looked really, really fun to make.
Just like, ow.
Like,
I was like,
dude, you have like these like, and we'll get later in like the acts, we'll talk about it a little bit more, but these blood cannons that were like, people just blew the fuck up, dude, like massive amounts of blood. They had this, and then they had, you know, like the puking blood scene. And I like read or like listened to this article where they were talking about how they had a pipe that went up into, I think it's Cassie or no, Blonde chick.
You want to look it up?
No, Sammy. Into Sammy's throat, or like up her shirt into her mouth. And then they had a back plate that she wore in her mouth. So they just blew fucking red liquid into her mouth, and they had a back plate hoping to not kill her. And that's where the blood came out. It wasn't like CGI at all. It was literally like a huge fucking pump that they like shot liquid up, and it went into her mouth and then blew back out of her mouth. Fucking cool as shit. But like, and they talk about like working with these directors. The directors were like, what do you guys think your character would do? And it's going back to like Blair Witch, it's a little bit like that, where like maybe the characters decide a little bit more than like a typical like Hollywood movie, to where like, no, I think that my character's like this, or my character's like this. And I think that it lends a bit to at least the character, like the actor's enjoyment in the movie. And you can like, it seems like a fun horror movie. I think what they maybe didn't hit super hard, because there's too many people involved, is caring about the characters. I don't think that like you have Joey, Abigail, and Frank.
Who else do you need though? You don't need to care for every single person.
But that's what they wanted you to like do. They wanted you to care about things when people died.
I feel like watching that, I cared for Abigail and Joey.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe that dog chick too, for a little bit.
Who, Miley Cyrus?
The other lady, you said Sammy?
Yes. No, I'm only making that joke because like when she like turns, like you'll have to flash it up, but like straight up do a side by side of Miley Cyrus and then Sammy once she's turned, and it is like you're gonna laugh when you see it. Okay. Anyways, let's get back to the story. So after Joey interacts with Abigail, Abigail kind of leaves her with this saying. She's like, I'm sorry for what's going to happen to you. And Joey comes back out and she's fucking freaked the fuck out. Goes to Frank and she's like, yo, who is this chick? Frank's like, I don't fucking know. Yeah, exactly. Leave me alone, junkie, is pretty much like what he says. But then she's like, no, straight up, like, I don't scare easy. And that chick scared me. And he's like, okay, fuck yeah. Like, I'll go fucking talk to her. I'm going to sneak in. What he doesn't realize is that Joey had pulled her blindfold off. So all of a sudden he walks in, he's immediately seen. And he's like, yo, who the fuck are you? And she's like, oh, well, my dad is Christophe Lazar. And he's like, immediately storms out. He's like, doesn't immediately, this doesn't happen like that fast, but comes out and he's like, yo, I'm fucking out. Like, you guys can fucking keep my share. Don't fucking say anything about me. Oh, wait, we already did this fucking dumbass guessing game where we're like, we all know enough about each other to already implicate each other. So I guess I can't bail anymore. Yeah. Plot device working all right.
I'm leaving. No, please stay.
Exactly.
Okay, I will.
So Frank has his whole fucking talk with the crew about fucking, yeah, all of this dumb shit. We get to Dean's death. So Dean is the driver. I like to think of him as like Mac Miller.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Like a stoned Mac Miller.
Mac Miller was wicked stoned, I feel like. I don't know enough about Mac Miller.
Dead in real life, which sucks.
Yeah. Yep. Angus Cloud is the actor that played Dean. He died in 2023 after shooting this movie and didn't even get to see the movie. The movie was dedicated to him, though, so they did at least give him some credit.
We felt
there.
Because we're like, this fucking character sucks.
Yeah, I did not like Dean at all.
I hate this. Well, which, like, he did his job because he was meant to be hated.
Yeah, he's the first one that dies.
Yeah.
Yep.
So he was meant to be hated. And I was like, fucking hate this character. And then at the end of the movie, they're like, this whole movie is dedicated to him who died. Fuck.
Feel like a jerk. But I think that it's also interesting. You don't often see the character of, and maybe I'm wrong here, but like I feel like the driver in the last like 10 years or more has been like the coolest fucking dude ever. You have like, Jason Statham and fucking Gosling and yeah, like all these fucking like, oh, I'm the driver. I'm the coolest dude you've ever seen. Yep. Absolutely. I didn't think about that one. That one didn't come to mind, but yeah, I guess you're technically right there. Who was the best character?
He was the best character in that. Mrs. Robinson.
Oh man, you're going way back there. All right, all right, all right.
Throwing little jokes. I'm fighting for air over here, trying to make funny jokes, and we can just keep going.
All right, yeah. Well, I think we should just move on. Like,
It's okay.
hey, it was just it was
I already said it. Go on.
it was interesting to have a character that was like, I don't want to call him an idiot, but was like a kid that was way out of his fucking element, dealing with like people that were like very much professionals. And like that was expressed when they did their like, I don't know what you want to call it, like their profiling type thing. But that dude was like 100% annoying and childish and like just didn't belong with the rest of the group. So anyways, he dies. Sammy finds him without a head. Well, she touches him and then his head falls off.
We also got to see him walk somewhere and then go, ah, and then Sammy finds him.
Yeah. Yeah, he does venture in the basement and then definitely dies.
On Sammy before that, and then she's like, get the fuck out of here.
I will say if you're not a huge fan of like jump scares, there's one jump scare in I think in the entire movie, and it is Dean when everyone decides that they're gonna go back to their own bedroom. Dean like is just being weird, and he just like has this weird mask on, and he just like sits behind Sammy, who he's definitely trying to bang. But like that is literally it, and I think it's impressive to see a horror movie not utilize a jump scare. Like I think that it's great because the genre has become so reliant on jump scares that like having something that like the movie was, I don't want to say the movie was scary. The movie was definitely a horror movie. Like Rob Zombie's movies are for the most part like not jump scare movies. They're just like there's something about like the inherent tone of it that makes you feel gross and weird. Yep. And I think that this did a really good job of that. And I think that speaking on that same tone, it's like what Rob Zombie does so well is he makes humans become monsters. And like that's literally the whole point of this movie is to make humans and Abigail, I almost say Annabelle, become a monster, right? And I think that that's like a really like interesting dichotomy that like whether we're talking true crime or horror or whatever we're going to cover, like at the end of the day, all of this is for the most part just people, and they are the monsters that we live with. And so, anyways, I don't know. Do you have more on that?
No, that's it.
Yeah.
That's all I needed.
Word. After Sammy finds Dean, they all decide to go up and visit Abigail because they think that there's this dude Valdez who is a hitman for this Christophe Lazar. And they're like, yo, who is he? Who is he? And they all go to talk to Abigail. But Joey goes back in to talk to Abigail. And Abigail says, oh, like, yeah, he came in and he said that, like, he was Valdez. And so Joey goes back out and is like, yo, what the fuck? Why is this chick saying that you are the guy that we're worried about that's here killing people? And he's like, whoa, like that chick is too clever. We got to go talk to her. And so while they're in there, Abigail, like, goes Super Saiyan and like turns into the vampire form that she actually is. And just starts like fucking people up. We get to learn that crosses don't have anything to do with vampires.
I feel like this is my favorite scene too.
Was it your favorite scene?
Yeah, where she's like dancing on the stage.
Yeah. Oh no, this is after that.
No, this is the same part where the cross doesn't affect him. So right before.
Oh no, you're right.
You're right.
Vampire,
and then they all run downstairs. And they're like, what do we need to do?
What the fuck? How do we kill her? Yeah.
Vampires. And Sammy's like, I'm gonna get garlic, and like runs to the kitchen.
It was really funny.
Garlic. And then I think Frank Frank's the one that gets Frank does the
Steak
makes the steak,
through his leg.
and then
Yep.
I don't who does the cross.
Peter.
Peter is the cross.
Yep.
And they're like, okay, we got a cross, we got a steak.
Oh, dude, that is such a brutal scene.
And
Yeah.
So they all run. We're like, we're gonna no kill her. And then
I thought that was really cool, though. I think that like it's important to like address this because like we do some dispelling and some like enforcement of like what are like vampire traits, like what works and what doesn't. And so they're all just like throwing shit out. And I thought that it was funny that they like brought up like it's a quick little nod to like what we think is good by the directors. They're like, oh, yep, True Blood and Lost Boys and this and that and that. Well, because they're like, oh, well, like, what kind of vampires are we talking about? And they're like, are we talking about True Blood vampires? Are we talking about Lost Boys? Like, they have something where, like, they're giving a little bit of homage to, like, this is what we like. These are the things that, so, like, and some of it's like, yep, garlic worked. Steaks worked. You have the cross, stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly.
But it was a quick little, like, quick tip of the hat to be like, yep, we like these movies and these movies and these movies.
Yeah, I agree. And then I just remember.
Then they go upstairs.
Sammy went and got the garlic, and she didn't know what garlic was, which was like mean to make fun of like a dumb girl or just being dumb in general. And Frank's like, oh, whatever. That's an onion.
Yeah, I forgot about that part.
So then, yes, they go upstairs to my favorite scene. This is where Abigail is just dancing.
Yep.
And then they're all like, present themselves with the things to
their weapons.
To kill her. And she beats the living shit out of all of them with the things.
Oh, yeah.
Like she
turns it on all of them.
Eats the garlic. Stabs Frank in the knee.
Just shoves it right, not even through the, like, a stake straight through his fucking leg.
And takes the cross necklace and just fucking profusely just stabs this dude in the chest.
It's
over and over.
It did very much remind me of in X when fucking Pearl just loses her mind and just fucking goes to town. It's the same fucking thing, dude. It's like 40 stabs.
But it was great because it was like all to the ballerina moves. And like the whole movie. The whole movie, Abigail, is like the whole thing's a dance to her, which I didn't think was creepy. Peter thought it was really creepy, but like Abigail, the whole time she's murdering people, she's just dancing the whole time. So she like would spin around and then stab Frank in the knee, and then she like spun around, jumped onto Pete, and just fucking stabbed him.
Brutally.
Yes. Got on top of Sammy.
Like so many times.
Ate the garlic.
Yeah.
Best scene in the movie.
I think that you are correct. And I think that there's other scenes that could have been better than that. But I think that you're correct is that that's the best scene that's in the movie. Spade. Yep. It's interesting. So I find I thought that the dancing was so creepy. You didn't think that the dancing was creepy?
I thought it was beautiful.
I thought it was beautiful too, but like the purpose of the whole dance is to like bring order of chaos. Like dancing is like random movements. Like it doesn't necessarily like to a human brain shouldn't make any sense. Like you're just moving to sounds.
No, I disagree. I think you're getting too existential in this. I think what they did with this was they just made her make this a game, which it was to her. This
well, correct.
Was a game. So her continuing to dance the entire time was like her having fun, murdering people, and continuing to do other things she loved was ballet.
Yep, I agree. But at the same time, that I think like the dance is like part of like the whole. It's all just play. She is the mouse. These are the rats. When Lambert leaves, he says, "Have fun, my little rats." Like he knows what's gonna happen. It's a cat and mouse game, and it's all like I just experienced this like a day ago where my cat, she's very young, and we got her this winter, finally caught a mouse and is out on our patio and is just like picking this thing up and just chucking it around. And it's still alive. I'm like, dude, what the fuck? And I like go to try to get it from her, and she just fucking picks it up and runs away. But then I go back inside and she comes right back up, and she's like, it seriously is just like in this movie when they find her and she's up dancing with fucking Dean's head. And she's just like think of like a cat holding something. It's like a little bit more awkward, but like literally like the mouse or the fucking head is just like right in front of them. Just like they're just playing with their fucking food. And she expresses that.
So you two think your cat's a vampire?
Yes.
Yeah, she's black. I get it. Black vampire. I thought it the whole time.
I don't know what that has to do with anything.
Well, not like black, like color, like I think of black like night. Go on.
I have a calico cat. It's not even black.
Black and sandy.
Yeah, okay. Um Anyways, I think that we agree that that scene is like fucking badass. And we get to experience some cool like vampire lore and what they think is real and what they think is bullshit.
All right, where were we at?
Then we finally like everyone's running through the fucking house. Joey decides that they're going to use the tranquilizer, which actually works, which I don't totally understand, but
Well, it worked before.
exactly. But like, no, but like, I don't quite understand why it works. No, I don't think, no, definitely not. For some reason, like it actually, like a tranquilizer actually works on vampires. So take note, Blade, keep notes.
Why would they not use it the whole time? I guess did they just
They didn't, well, they didn't have anything, dude. They had one tranquilizer and they used it.
Go on.
Abigail's chasing everyone through the house, and Sammy falls into the body pool.
Yes.
Were you disappointed by the body pool? Because I can tell you that I was 100% disappointed by the body pool. Because it took up like 15 seconds of the movie.
Okay.
It was like a huge budget like that they had. And I just like, I wish there was more. Like it should have been nastier. It should have been grosser. It should have been brought back in again. There was like 1,000 bodies in this pool. And like they featured it for like, literally she falls in, gets up and gets out. That's it. I just don't, I don't know why like it was such a gross thing. I don't know why they wouldn't utilize it again.
Well, I feel like it makes it like that much cooler that they didn't just overuse it the whole time.
No, but like it could have been huge. It was this big. It's a fucking pool, dude.
Probably 1,000 people, and it gave to the point that these were not the first people to be there, and made them feel like, okay, fuck, we are completely separate.
I just wanted more because I thought that it was like such a gross fucking thing.
How long do you want this movie? You want this 4 hours?
Well, I don't know. Make it a fucking miniseries, dude.
I loved that it was this movie.
Okay. I'm just saying, like, I was maybe just a little bit disappointed that, like, they didn't utilize. It was like a huge part of the budget.
That was just fine. Oh, really? Yeah.
Yes.
It's like Game of Thrones where they just.
Well, because they didn't just fill up a part of it, which they should have just fucking filled up a part of it where she fell in and then put bodies around it. They filled up a whole fucking pool and then put a bunch of foam shit around it, like foam people around it. But why spend that much money on a 15-second clip?
Why not?
You could do it like it. I think that they could have done better, dude. With how big like the blood cannons were and shit like that, I expected it to be a bigger deal.
Fair enough.
I don't know. Anyways, after Sammy falls in the blood pool, they tranquilize her, Abigail, and we get to our final act, Abigail wakes up and actually tells everyone who the fuck they are and says, this is why you're here, this is why you're here, this is why you're here. Right? So it's a little bit of a spin-off of what happened at the beginning of the episode, or like the beginning of the show, but it's why you're here. She's like, she reveals herself as Lazar's daughter. He's a vampire. She is also a vampire.
Forever, too.
Yep.
Like centuries.
Yep. She is also Valdez, and pretty much tells everyone why they're here. And like, check out the movie if you guys want to know why everyone's there. We don't need to go through all of that. She ends up, so we find out that like, yeah, you can tranquilize her. It puts her to sleep for a little bit. You can't trap her because she's a fucking vampire and is unbelievably strong. She's just posturing and just literally rips through the doors of this cage that they have her in.
Yeah, and it's awesome that she like convinced Frank, like, hey, let me go and I'll do this. He's like, oh yeah, I agree. He's like, just kidding.
It just showed who he was as a person, dude. He was such a shithead to begin with. Yep. Like corrupt cop from the beginning. And like you knew that about him. So like I think that he stayed true to character and was like 100% the biggest piece of shit all the way through.
That's what you want from him though.
Yep. Exactly. But that's what I'm saying is like every interview I like saw, they were like trying to fucking, these were complex, well thought out characters. I'm like, dude, I don't know if they are. I think they're pretty stereotypical characters. Not that I don't think that they are good, but they're stereotypes. And like, if you're trying to make the point that they're not, I don't think that's a fucking hook to hang your hat on.
I just think you said earlier that they wanted them to be relatable, not like non-stereotypical. They are stereotypical.
Yeah, but you don't relate to stereotypical people.
I know. I related to.
You don't say it.
I think, yeah, I disagree with you there. I think it was just fine that we knew kind of how those characters were going.
Yeah.
I still think there was quite.
It's fair.
Many plot twists and stuff.
And Abigail also like clears all that up with like, yeah, Joey like gave a little bit of insight, but we got to like know who people were when Abigail like fucking throws the hammer down. It's like, yep, you were this person. That's why you're fucking time to die. And all this and like, yep, this person and this person, you're all pieces of shit.
Like, anytime they like double cross her family.
Yep. Yeah,
She was, like,
because
doing her dad's dirty work because her dad didn't love her.
Yep. 100%. She breaks out, fucks up Frank. Joey hits a board and we find out, oh shit, sunlight works. Fucks her up. It's gross. Like her whole fucking like arm just being like completely fucking like vaporized and then having to grow back. Ooh, I thought it gave me a little bit of, gave me some tickles, dude. I didn't like that at all. So they go to this like sunny room, like they find like Joey found the room at night, but then they go to the room because they know that there's this big fucking light. Why the fuck is there this big ass room with a fucking huge giant, the only light, like the only sunshine that doesn't get blocked is in this one room? Why?
For a great segue for the third chapter of this movie.
Exactly. This is our third act, and it's where everything takes place, obviously. Other than that, I don't know why they would fucking have this thing in the movie.
To give space, give time to break.
Yep. They all go out and they figure out, hey, we need to fucking, the blinds are all closed by power. Let's fucking disable the power source. Then we can roll the blinds up and get the fuck out of here. Abigail chases and definitely murders Peter through Sammy, which was like really, I thought it was really cool.
Yeah, because
but I did not know vampire, like,
I've never seen it before where if you like half bite, it's like if you just bite her.
yeah.
So Abigail bit her in the neck, but didn't like let her drink the blood, and that's what made her like the pawn. So that's where Sammy could be like controlled by Abigail because she didn't finish the job by letting her drink the blood and become a full vampire.
So from what I know, and like, you can rip on me as much as you want about this, but like, I've watched a fuck ton of Vampire Diaries. That's why I know this vampire lore shit so well. So you can't turn someone into a vampire until they drink human blood or vampire blood.
Just drink vampire blood. Yeah.
So you have to be bit, and then you have to drink vampire blood, and then you also have to drink human blood, or else you will die.
You have to drink human blood afterwards.
Yes.
You have to continue to drink.
So you turn into a vampire legitimately when you drink someone, or like when you drink a vampire's blood. But to feed, you have to feed, or else you die.
Yeah. Have you never seen Lost Boys?
Yeah, I've seen Lost Boys, but it's been a bit.
Yeah, that's like the legit whole plot point is like, drink that blood. He's like, the entire time he is bit and never drinks the blood. He's just like fading in and out of not being a vampire.
So, oh, that was a good one. That was a good crack.
Segway.
But like, so what I know is like vampire lore. So like, you can't. I've never seen someone be able to control another person though. That is new, and I think that's. I thought it was fucking cool as shit. Yeah. Yep. Yes, because she's doing these dances that are technically like chaotic motions, but like,
Just the Abigail moves.
yeah, she's wavy.
No, that's Lana.
Okay, you're right.
Very good. But she's like, yeah, she's like kind of spinning, but like kind of like creepy too.
Mm-hmm. Yep. But anyways, I thought it was fucking cool as shit. Like doing the whole dance and like the takeover of I don't want to call it like it's not a familiar because that's more like a witch type thing,
No,
but
I
like
think she was like a puppet. Is that what they
yes.
said? They called it a puppet.
Yeah.
So yeah, so Dan, right? No, I forgot.
Frank?
Frank. Yeah,
Which
Dan's
one?
his real name. So Frank, it's Frank and Joey
Yes.
that are in the room. No, who's the one that Sam kills? And just
Sammy kills Peter.
Sam kills Peter.
The big fucking
Yeah.
Hulk dude that's
Oh,
yeah.
We didn't really talk about him that much.
I have some things about him that like we'll bring up
But anyway,
afterwards.
she kills him with what we were talking about,
Mm-hmm.
and then she like calls for Frank and Joey.
Yeah.
She's like, "Oh hey, we're here.
We need help."
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what we're talking about.
Yep.
And then they find out that Sammy's taken over by Abigail.
Yep. And they run the fuck out of there back to the library. I'm just going to call it the library. I didn't have it written down as the library, but it's the library for sure. And he just finds a mirror, or is it just like a metal thing? I can't remember. I think it's a mirror. And literally it's like the first time we like get to really see the fucking blood cannon. And goddamn, does Sammy blow the fuck up, dude. Like these explosions that happen in this movie, if you guys like are questionable on seeing this movie, the blood cannon, like the people blowing up alone, if you're a horror movie fan, check it out because like it's literally just the blood cannon is worth going to see.
100%.
How big the explosions when people get killed as the vampires are fucking so much worth it. So, anyway, so Sammy chases them into the library and super dies.
Cannon style, as he said.
Yep, blown the fuck up. Joey and Frank weirdly they just finally go to the control room where Lambert is.
Opens up.
Yeah.
It's like, so they tried to grab it before because
Yeah.
Abigail tells Frank that there's a book that he can find that'll get him out because that's what his way of getting.
It's called
out.
And Then There Were None.
Yeah.
It's a book by Agatha Christie. And it was...
He grabs it and it doesn't work.
Yep. Because she takes it, like, Abigail says this to Frank. And Frank is like, yep, I know exactly where we need to go. And, like, he does it and it doesn't work, which is, I don't quite get why it doesn't work then, but
because
whatever.
So, the book opens the door because Despacito wanted them to get in.
Yeah, Giancarlo Despacito. I think he opens the gate. Exactly. I don't think it has anything to do with this book.
No, but there's a part where they're laying down.
Yeah.
And a book
it's the same book, though.
And
it's fucking bullshit.
I'm sorry.
I don't know why, like,
I'm sorry, that's just
it's one of those things that bothered me.
The door opens, and they go in, thinking they're home safe, and they get to Carlos Despacito.
I don't know, I'm just dancing. So.
I don't know either.
Anyways, so they go down this thing, and it's like, oh, we find the inner workings, because Lambert is just sitting there, and he's like, oh, hey, just so you guys know, I'm also a vampire. He's worked for Abigail for a while and continues to bring people to this mansion for Abigail to pretty much hunt. And then Lambert is like, hey, Frank, let's fucking do this shit. Let's take out Abigail. We'll take out Lazar. Right? Yep. Frank's like, yep, let's fucking go. And then immediately he fucking kills Lazar. Lambert, sorry.
Yeah, so
L's. There's a lot of L's.
Lambert convinces Frank to be a vampire.
Yep.
So they can kill Lazar and Abigail. And then Frank's like, yeah, I think I should do that. And then Lambert bites Frank, and Frank just like immediately fucking murders him.
Yeah.
Like through the fucking heart.
Yeah.
Stake.
Yep. He had no intention of ever fucking helping Lambert. But, like, it gets to the... Kind of. But it's like, it's so fucking on point for him.
Yeah,
yep.
He was a dick the whole time. Why would he not be a dick?
Yep. So after Lambert turns Frank super murders Lambert, blows him the fuck up. Epic fucking canon. He chases after Joey, and then there's like this weird, like, surreal scene where, like, she gets bitten, right? And then she has her interaction with her kid.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Because she's all fucking tripped out on vampire blood. But he shows up. Like, the kid kind of, like, shows up, right? I thought he, like, showed up.
No.
Am I just...
No, yeah. So
that's in my head.
And leaves a voicemail. And he's like, I love you so much.
Yep.
And I'm sure they're what you might be thinking of is I think there was they played a back thing where they were like...
Yeah, you're right.
Running and loving each other kind of thing.
Yep. Okay. So after that, this whole fucking epic battle happens between Abigail is on one side, Frank is on another, and then Joey is on another. And she's like, what the fuck is going on? Like, I'm definitely going to die. But then Abigail and Joey obviously team up. And...
Well, Abigail's like, if you help me kill him, I'll save you.
And she means it. Because we get to learn that, like, yeah, they kill Frank. And I think it's maybe my favorite quote of the whole show. It's like, takes a long fucking time to learn the secrets of this shit. Or like, something like to learn how to be a vampire.
Oh, yeah. That makes sense.
Like, Frank's own demise comes from his arrogance. Like, he thinks that he already knows how to do all this shit. Just because he's wicked strong and shit like that, he thinks that he, like, is top of the world. And he's not, because this little fucking child has been a vampire for fucking 400 years and knows how to do this shit better than he does. And like 100% gets killed by her. She's like, yep, like you're a fucking idiot. You just turned into a vampire. Takes a long time to learn how to be good at this shit. And that's definitely how Frank fucking dies. Then Christophe Lazar, who we see the statue of Christophe Lazar and Abigail from way earlier in the movie, comes into play. He's wearing his fucking dumbass Thanksgiving hat. And it's not. I don't know. He wants to kill Joey, and Abigail's like, no, don't do it. And then they let her go.
Jumps in front of him. She goes, no, she saved me. You're like, oh, he's like, okay, you're lucky. And then he gives like a little hint that he's Dracula, like in so many terms. Like,
More or less,
he's
yes.
Like, I've gone by many names.
Yeah.
Is what he says.
Yep.
Also known as Dracula.
Yep.
So this is a Dracula movie.
100%. I think that he is at least like a very prominent vampire. I don't know, but it's assumed he's Dracula. I don't love that, but I don't know, dude.
Who else is that big dick of a fucking person?
It's a fucking vampire, dude. Like, you haven't seen Vampire Diaries, and that's why you don't think that.
That's a show for teenage girls.
Well, I was a teenage girl one time.
I've also never seen True Blood.
No, I can't watch True Blood.
I've never seen Twilight. Why can't you watch True Blood?
An Apokian's accent. Literally, I've wanted to watch it, and I have tried. Straight up, I've watched the first episode 4 times. I honestly tried to go back and watch it for this episode. And straight up, her accent makes me so fucking mad. Because it's such a bad accent of like someone from the South. She's obviously not from the South. So it sounds so forced is that I can't watch True Blood because Anna Paquin's accent is fucking awful. And I can't listen to her every single episode.
I just didn't watch it because it was just like seemed like boring.
It's not boring. I've heard it's incredible television.
Sure. All right. So with that being said, that's the movie. Correct?
That is the movie. Yeah, we pretty much end with like, and they let Joey go. They're like, pretty much Abigail's like, hey, fucking go take care of your kid, Justin, who she named him in the show. But like, his name's Caleb. His name's Caleb. I don't know why he's doing this, but he seems to think. He seems to keep thinking it's a good idea, but like whatever. My thoughts when I go to Caleb is like, oh, we have like John Steinbeck, East of Eden, and then like the actual Bible, Caleb, where like it's the guy that pretty much brings back good news to the like Israelites at one point. But I don't know.
I think it's just her kid that she forgot.
Oh, she didn't forget about him. She just like straight up like drugs more. All right.
So that's the movie.
That is the movie.
Yeah.
We don't have anything else to say about the movie at all.
Good next one.
Dude, we're okay. So like let's finish up this episode.
No. Well, you're just rambling a whole bunch. So it's just like.
Well, no, but like I'm just like asking like.
No, I asked.
We're gonna score this movie though. We have to.
No, okay, let's score.
So like, what did you think this movie was like out of 10?
Out of 10?
Yes.
8.
8? Yeah, I'd give this movie a 7.5.
Same.
IMDb is scoring this movie at 7.1.
Perfect.
Rotten Tomatoes has an 87. Critic score 84. I think our score is gonna be 7.8, 7.9.
Yeah.
Somewhere in there.
For sure.
Yep. who is this like? Who would like this movie, and who's not going to like it?
People that don't that are scared easily aren't gonna like this movie.
Aren't?
I don't think families are gonna like this movie.
That's fair. I just like I think that like people that are looking for like your traditional horror movies are like maybe not going to like it because I think that they're like trying to joke with you a little bit.
Yeah.
Like there's no jump scares except for like the one that's like kind of a joke scare anyways. And two, like they're taking very very like stereotypical characters and trying to make them relatable.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to like upset people with that. So I think they like it's man.
Don't have to say back in again. In closing, what'd you have to
What?
say, Peter?
Back in again, closing the same thing.
Okay.
Um, I don't know. I think that we should just mention like Angus Cloud, who played Dean in the show, did pass away this last year to yeah a suspected overdose.
Mhm.
It's a bummer, but they did dedicate the entire movie to him, which is quite sweet. Um, I think that we'll end this with just like thanking you guys for tuning in to Drunk and Demonic. We hope you guys like this different style episode. It's something fun for us to do, as well as like stay a little more current with our episodes and keep content rolling out. Next episode, we'll go back into our traditional format and discuss a totally insane story about sexual abuse, sacrifice, and the goddamn devil.
All right. Thank you.